Welcome back, everyone. Today, we're diving into a topic that's not just hot off the press, but is also crucial for understanding the global landscape U.S.-China relations. You know, it's like watching a high-stakes chess game where every move can change the board entirely. With Donald Trump set to be inaugurated as the 47th President of the United States, we're looking at a potential shift in dynamics that could lead to renewed tensions and, dare I say, a trade war.
Wow, that sounds intense. So, what exactly do you mean by a high-stakes chess game? Is it really that dramatic?
Absolutely. Think of it this way. Every piece on the board represents a different aspect of international relations trade, military presence, technology, you name it. When one side makes a move, the other has to respond, and sometimes those responses can escalate quickly. For instance, China recently announced visa restrictions on U.S. personnel involved in actions related to Hong Kong. It's like a tit-for-tat situation, right?
That's interesting. So, it's like they're both playing defense and offense at the same time? But what's the deal with Hong Kong? Why is that such a hot topic?
Great question. Hong Kong is a unique region with its own set of laws and freedoms, but it's also under Chinese sovereignty. The U.S. has been critical of China's actions there, which has led to these visa restrictions. It's a classic case of interference in internal affairs, and both sides are accusing each other of overstepping. It's like a family feud that spills out into the neighborhood, you know?
Right? So, if they're both throwing accusations, does that mean they're just going to keep escalating? I mean, what's next?
Well, that's the concern. China has already taken proactive measures, like initiating an antitrust investigation into NVIDIA and imposing export controls on critical minerals. It's a shift from just talking about their grievances to actually taking action. Imagine if you were in a negotiation, and instead of just arguing, you started pulling out your resources. Things could get really tense, really fast.
Wow. So, it's like they're not just arguing over who gets the last slice of pizza, but they're actually starting to take the pizza away from each other?
Exactly. And it's not just the U.S. and China. Other countries are watching closely. For example, Peru has a strong relationship with China, investing heavily in projects like the $3.5 billion Shanghai megaport. This is significant because it enhances Peru's integration into international supply chains, but it also makes the U.S. and Europe a bit wary.
So it's like Peru is kind of caught in the middle? That's wild. What happens if the U.S. decides to retaliate against Peru for being so close to China?
That's a real possibility. If tensions rise, countries like Peru could find themselves in a tough spot, having to choose sides. It's like being at a party where two friends are fighting, and you have to decide who to support. It can lead to economic repercussions, trade restrictions, and a whole lot of diplomatic maneuvering.
Wow, that's a lot to unpack. So, what do you think the long-term effects of all this could be? Are we looking at a potential trade war, or is there a chance for resolution?
Well, it's hard to say. The landscape is constantly changing, and while there's potential for conflict, there's also room for dialogue. It's like a dance, and sometimes you step on each other's toes, but if both sides are willing to communicate, they can find a rhythm. But if they keep escalating, we could see significant global challenges that impact international peace and prosperity.
That's a really interesting way to put it. So it's all about finding that balance, right? But what if one side just refuses to dance?
Then we might be in for a bumpy ride. But that's why it's crucial for leaders to engage in diplomacy and find common ground. After all, the stakes are high and the world is watching.
Sigh. Wow, I can't believe how complex this all is. It's like a never-ending soap opera, but with real-world consequences.